Hello, everyone. We caught this entire move to the upside in the market. Oh, the market is gonna drop. Oh, we have to go short. When everyone was talking about being short, oh, this move to tariffs are gonna drop it. We were long. In today's video, I'm gonna explain to you guys what I was looking for to basically see that we were going to bounce. What indicators, what things I was looking at to understand that the market was going to be bullish. So in today's video, I'm going to go over that, and we're going to take a look at what the next steps are for the market. So stay tuned. It's going to be very, very fun. Should be a relatively quick video, but without further ado, let's get started with the video. How did you know? How did you know the market was going to be bullish? Well, there's a few things we were looking at. Number one, the first thing that we're going to take a look at is the VIX. Okay, so we were looking at how the VIX looked bearish. Now, why is the VIX important? It's because the VIX monitors an inverse relationship to the market. It's a good indicator of something that's the opposite of the market. So if the VIX drops, then that is very bullish for the overall market. What I was looking at and what we saw was a bearish sort of setup on the VIX. It did not look strong, and it looked like support was going to break, and we were going to end up falling. And that's exactly what ended up happening. As the VIX dropped, of course, because it's an inverse relationship to the market, the overall market began to bounce. So this was the first amazing clear-cut indicator that we basically looked for, was the VIX. And the VIX definitely does, just now moving forward, right? How much more room does the VIX have to the downside? The VIX has some room to the downside. The VIX can easily, it's holding 1450, right? But you can still see that this is just the beginning of a potential downward move. If the VIX does fall below 1450 and it starts to retest this $14 level of support, this is not a bullish situation on the VIX. This is not something where, if this was a normal stock, okay, this is one way that you can basically look at this. If this was a normal stock on the stock market, is this a time where you would want to start going long after it started to break down below a bear flag? Because this is a bear flag. Bear flags are very bearish patterns. This is the first instance of a break to the downside on a bear flag. This is not where you want to start being, okay, we're going to step in here and we're going to start going long on the stock. No, you let it drop. You get out of its way and you wait. If you want to go long, you wait for it to come down to levels of support. And this $13 to $14 level is support. Right now, sure. If by some God-given miracle we get a bounce on the VIX, congratulations. It's just not a good setup to go long. Does that make sense? So the VIX does look like it has more room to go to the downside. If the VIX falls lower, then that means the overall market should be rising. Next, we were looking at Tesla. So we were short on Tesla from 386. 386. I swung puts on Tesla. And clear-cut evidence. I did not sell and we did not go long until 330 on Tesla. We started to lean long. And I saw that this was a good opportunity to lean long because Tesla became very, very overextended to the downside. So what you want to look for in a bounce is when huge winners, huge winning stocks, Tesla, NVDA, Apple, large tech stocks, when they start vomiting to the downside, that vomiting to the downside does not sustain itself. Because it does not sustain itself, it gives a good indication that we're going to bounce, right? If a huge downward move in these stocks does not last, okay? Because these moves to the downside do not last, what happens afterward? If the downward move doesn't last, what happens? You bounce. If Tesla bounces, right? What's a good sign for the overall market if Tesla is bouncing? It means that the overall market is also going to bounce. right? So it's very, very important to look at these large tech stocks and to see how much potential room there is to the upside or the downside. Does that make sense? So we went long on Tesla at 330. We covered our shorts and went long at 330. And this was a really, really solid opportunity to go long on Tesla. And it really helped fuel an overall bounce in the market because Tesla was one of the losers. And, just in general, Tesla is a winner. But it was very underperforming. We caught the bottom. So far, so good. So Tesla, the weakness in Tesla was another good indicator that we were going to eventually get some sort of a bounce and some sort of strength out of the overall market. And just to make it very, very clear, Apple has been one of the leaders, right? We've been rallying on Apple, and then we had a huge downward move, right? A few days ago, I was saying that Apple was holding this 223 level very, very well. What ended up happening with Apple? As Tesla started to bottom out, as NVIDIA started to, we're going to take a look at the rest of the stocks as well. But Apple showing this strength and holding this support zone, very, very bullish for the overall market. Once again, very, very simply, if these large tech stocks are starting to show bottoms, if they're starting to show bullishness, you have to lean bullish. You cannot start thinking, okay, we're at a level of support. This is a bearish setup. I'm going to start leaning bear. Never do that. These are large tech stocks with hundreds of billions of dollars of funds, banks, institutions trying to buy cheap. They are by default trying to buy cheap. This is not a time for you to start being a Twitter hero and start saying, start thinking, I'm going to be a contrarian. There's a lot of economists that are saying, it makes sense to be bearish. The recession is coming. Screw all of them. They're not making money on a day-to-day basis in the market. They are holding on to shorts for months underwater, and they just continue averaging in. And a lot of these guys, a lot of them, 50, 60-year-old men that are in these institutional positions managing money, they are throwing away their entire life's work because they just don't want to admit that they're wrong about something. They might have gotten network resources from their network. Oh, yeah, wow, this guy, he worked at Goldman for 25 years. Oh, wow, okay, let me give him some money. Let's see how he did. Great. It's very easy to make money, whatever, going long, great. But once you start shorting, once you start adhering to like market dynamics that don't apply anymore, it's like these are the types of people that don't adapt to market environments. And then you, with your couple, like normal people, right? When I was looking at these people growing up, it's like, wow, okay, my $10,000, maybe I should start going short. Maybe I should start leaning bearish on the overall market. Why the hell would you just marry a short position that an idiot is averaging into and trying to push on social media to cause fear? That's why these people just get made fun of online. They are very reputable on paper, great resumes, but they are getting crapped on online because they just don't admit to being incorrect. It's like the same thing with, I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but it's the same exact thing with people that are bearish on crypto, that were bearish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin was at, 15, 16K 2 years ago. They were bearish at 40, at 60, new all-time high at 80, bearish at 100. It's like, yo, bro, give it a rest. Stop being an idiot. Grow up, admit that you're wrong. You're a grown man. It's like, imagine them in their household, right? It's like, you could be, just imagine, it's like, imagine you're at home, and it's like, they're your father, and it's like, something wrong happens at home, and they're just like, oh, no, nothing happened. It's like, those are the types of guys that get cheated on. But anyway, that being said, Apple was bullish, so it was a good sign for the overall market that Apple was bullish. NVIDIA was also with NVIDIA, right? We were very, very scared of the overall market. Oh my God, DeepSeek. Oh, wow, the market is going to drop. Holy crap. Wow, this is so bad for the overall market. Oh, what are we going to do? NVIDIA is back to almost 140. We were long NVIDIA too. We're still long NVIDIA. We're long NVIDIA, Tesla, the SPY. Sucks, right? Just imagine being short when the overall market wants to bounce. We don't have that problem. Thankfully, we don't have that problem. But anyway, NVIDIA was bullish, right? Worked out. AMD also so now we're going to look at stocks that are basically holding support. Okay, so AMD was holding support. Microsoft is holding support. Google holding support. So you don't necessarily need all of these large tech stocks to start skyrocketing, right? But you do want to start seeing these stocks either holding support or showing some sort of, you just don't want to see weakness, right? So thankfully, all of these stocks were either holding support or really making new highs. So for example, Meta, new highs, Netflix, also just skyrocketing, showing a lot of strength. When these stocks are all adding up and acting in this way, when the VIX is showing weakness, how on God's green earth would you think that it makes sense to start leaning short? When the overall market on the SPY was in a bull flag. The SPY was in a bull flag. We broke above. And multiple times when we tried to break down lower, these were buying opportunities. How on God's green earth would you want to start leaning short into this sort of strength? Just doesn't make any sense. The NASDAQ, the SPY, we reclaimed an uptrend level. Another bull flag on the NASDAQ. The IWM, not the best, right? But look, the IWM is also making a bull flag. These are not bearish setups. So to be bearish here just absolutely made no sense. And I mean, I don't know why people do it to themselves. I don't know why people make things harder for themselves. I don't know, to be honest. But just moving forward, what do we have moving forward? The market wants to continue rallying. Do I think the overall market is going to just skyrocket this week? Not necessarily, because on Wednesday we have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. This is also a longer weekend, so the market might be a bit choppier, slow, whatever, but this is not a time to start shorting, in my opinion. Once I become bearish, I'll let you know. You'll probably find out a bit later, obviously, because I'm going to be entering into my puts, entering into my shorts and my new positions live in the Discord. You're not going to get access to it until afterward or when I want to share it. But if I want to share it. But, so far for our swing trades, I have a 95% success rate for this year. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Can't complain. Working out beautifully. And we're just going to continue doing really, really well. We have to look at every single variable in the market daily and intake all of that information to make the best decision moving forward. Right now, pragmatically speaking, look, is this a time to start leaning short? Absolutely not. Is this also a time to start leaning long? It becomes a bit riskier to start leaning newly long here. But you could with a tight stop loss. Sure. You could with a stop loss, right? But thankfully we were long way lower. But the main thing, is this the time to start leaning short? And for that reason alone, I don't believe that it is a good time to start leaning short, which is why I think the market is going to want to continue. Okay. So we're seeing a lot of bullish setups out of the large tech stocks. We're seeing the VIX showing a lot of weakness. We're seeing just a lot of different things still pointing to the upside. Until we get some sort of weakness, some sort of reversals going on, the market is bullish. And with that being said, thankfully, we've been on the right side of the market. So if you guys want access to all of my trades and my live real-time alerts, the link to join is down below. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have an amazing day. Thank you.